In line with the current economic situation, about 80 members of parliament from the majority caucus have called on President Akufo Addo to dismiss the Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta, as well as the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Charles Adu-Boahen, to ensure that the ministry is offered into new hands to ensure some revival of the economy.
We have had occasions to defend allegations of conflict of interest, lack of confidence, trust against the leadership of our finance ministry. The recent developments within our economy are of great concern to the greater majority of members of our caucus and our constituents. We have made our grave concern to the President through the parliamentary leadership and the leadership of the party without any positive response. We are by this medium communicating our strong desire that the President change the Minister of Finance and the Minister of State in the Finance Ministry without further delay in order to restore hope into the financial sector and reverse the downward trend in the growth of the economy. The summary of our concerns leads to a plea that the Minister of Finance, Honorable Ken Ofori Atta, and the Minister of State of the Ministry of Finance, Honorable Charles Adu-Boahen, be removed from office. And notice is hereby served that until such persons as aforementioned are made to resign or removed from office, we, members of the majority caucus here in Parliament, will not participate in any business of government by or for the President by any other minister. We hope that those of us of the backbench and members of the majority caucus will abide by this prayer. We are saying that if our request is not responded to positively, we will not be present for the budget hearing, neither we will participate in the debate.
Just some few minutes after the call by the majority caucus, the minority, led by its deputy chief whip, Ahmed Ibrahim, also urged the majority caucus to offer support in ensuring a vote of censure against the Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta.
The minority leader didn't do a press conference. He told the chairman of the business committee that as representatives of the people and as duty bearers, we must move a motion to call for the head of the finance minister. So if our brothers in the majority believe in this, what they should do is to support the call for the minority leader and the motion for the minority leader for the dismissal of the finance minister. I see their press briefing long overdue. If they meant well, the day they went to cabinet meeting, and President Nana Akufo Addo pointed to them that you want me to sack my finance minister when he was sponsoring my campaign, where were you? This is what he told them in cabinet meeting. That was the day we were expecting them to come with such a statement. So if they mean well, you need to test majority of parliamentarians to sack the finance minister. When we went to IPU, they told us that parliamentarians must walk the talk. More action and less talk. So it should not be majority coming to make a press conference, the minority coming to make press conference. If you have 137 minority, 137 plus 1 majority, and both sides believe that the finance minister is killing the economy, and therefore he must go, it should not be difficult to mobilize 183 MPs to dismiss or to reshuffle him, if the president is failing to do that.
Later, the minority, led by the ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, Dr. Adu-Boahen, outlined some reasons for the group's vote of censure against the Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta.
The first one is the fact that we are seeing a despicable conflict of interest, ensuring that he directly benefits from Ghana's economic woes as his companies receive commissions and other unethical contractual advantage, particularly from the Ghana's debt overhang. The second ground has to do with an unconstitutional withdrawals from the consolidated fund in blatant contravention with Article 178 of the 1992 Constitution and the Petroleum Management Act, supposedly for the construction of the President Cathedral. The third point has to do with the illegal payment of oil revenues into offshore account in flagrant violation of Article 176 of the 19th Constitution and the PFM Act, as well as the Petroleum Revenue Act, Act 815. The fourth one has to do with deliberate and dishonest misreporting of economic data to Parliament, where he decided to account for expenditure as amortization and certain expenditure as footnote in the financial reporting standard, contrary to global financial reporting standards. The fifth one has to do with the fiscal recklessness, obviously leading to the crash of the Ghanaian cedi, which is currently the worst performing currency in the entire globe.
He also called on the Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, to resign for failing to sustain the economy.
The Vice President must be made to step aside as the chairman of the economic management team because he has failed woefully. Woefully. He does not qualify to call himself chairman of economic management team. Unfortunately, Parliament do not have the right to censure him on that grounds. If not, we would have gone after him first. I think the governor has a role to play in this matter, and he should also pack his bag tomorrow morning. I'm saying that the finance minister obviously is the head of the management of the economy as long as the finance ministry is concerned. But he reports to the vice president. So the vice president has failed in his supervision. He has failed in the work that he has been mandated to do. So he has no business to sit in that office and call himself chairman of the economic management team. I call on you directly, Mr. Vice President, if you are listening to us, resign as the chairman of the economic management team now to save the Ghanaian cedi and the economy of Ghana. We need that.
In his response, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Apenyomarkin, attributed the current economic situation to global factors.
It's difficult, especially for businesses and looking at the way our currency is faring. So anybody raising a concern about the state of the economy will be raising such a concern genuinely. This is not about NDC MPP. It's a general problem we are facing as a country. Mighty UK. People are paying more for mortgages. Almighty UK, Great Britain. People do not have what it takes to even buy essential commodities. So it is not an easy thing. As parents who are supposed to pay school fees, as businessmen who are supposed to pay bank loans, it is not easy. But what we're supposed to do is to have faith and work together.
In his opening remarks, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, announced that he will make a determination on the fate of the MP for Donkwabenya Sarah Adjoasafo on Wednesday.
Tomorrow, I'll be delivering my ruling on the preliminary objection that was raised on the motion that was before us the last day of the last meeting. I'll deliver that tomorrow. We have a few things to transact today. If not, I'm ready to do so, but I think it's better and you'll find space tomorrow.
The Majority Leader, Seiche Mensah Bonsu, says the Speaker must do this in accordance with the law.
Mr. Speaker, you have alluded to a ruling that you intend to give to the preliminary objection that I raised in respect of the motion for the House to adopt the report of the Committee of Privileges on 3 members who you had cited as having breached Article 97(1)(c). We can only wait for the ruling, which I want to believe will be very erudite, the Speaker, and I want to believe that it will be in sync with the Constitution, the ruling that should come from you tomorrow.
In his opening remarks, the minority leader Haruna Idrisu says government's failure to secure the IMF deal before reading the 2023 budget statement could have dire impact on the economy.
In pursuit of the Public Financial Management Act, the Minister for Finance will have to appear before us with his budget statement for 2023. My wish would have been that he secured an IMF bailout before budget. That does not seem possible, and that itself comes with major economic ramifications for our country. What precedes the other has meaning for businesses and for donors and for international community. I'm told that the IMF wants to further conduct debt sustainability analysis because they are not satisfied with the last examination of our books that they did. Probably a debt restructuring may become necessary. But I'm saying that ideally, Ghana should have secured an IMF bailout before budget. Because what budget will you be presenting without a position on the IMF will be problematic.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayikwe Okain for Citi News.